Well, comments about her appearance, being subjected to an alleged solicitation of a sex worker. Those are just a couple of the reasons Allison Butler felt the need to file a sexual harassment lawsuit against Caldwell's police chief, which the former Caldwell police officer did a couple of months ago. But yesterday, Butler amended her complaint to include new details about how her employment ended at Caldwell Police and new allegations of more retaliation she says has happened since she filed that lawsuit. Espen Schumpert sat down with the officer to hear more about that and why she decided to add the mayor of Caldwell as a defendant.
I started taking classes when I was in high school, moving towards law enforcement, and now to have my career ripped out from underneath me because certain people didn't want to hold other people accountable for their actions and other people can't control themselves it's sad.
Allison Butler spent the majority of her 5 years in law enforcement with the Caldwell Police Department.
The beginning was great. Being assigned to a team, they became like brothers to me. And I would say sister, but I was always the only girl on my teams.
Shortly after she started with CPD, Rex Ingram was appointed police chief in 2022.
At first, we all saw a lot of good changes we were excited about, and then it went downhill pretty fast.
In a lawsuit filed in February, Butler accuses Chief Ingram of sexual harassment and retaliation and claims his actions caused her severe distress.
That was a large toll on me mentally, and then it turned physically. I ended up losing weight, and I was constantly stressed, and I wasn't sleeping well. And then that's when my counselor intervened, and she was like, this is going downhill fast.
Incidents, she says, she reported.
When you're going through something and you go to HR and you report it, it's because you want somebody protecting you. And when I went to HR and I went to the mayor and I told them about something that I was asking for them to intervene on, it feels like they turned around and felt the need to protect themselves from me.
On Wednesday, Butler amended her lawsuit against the department to include a new defendant, Caldwell Mayor Jerem Wagner. She says the mayor failed to take appropriate action following the reports of misconduct. She also added allegations of more retaliation against her since filing the lawsuit.
The third party did the investigation. Claims were substantiated. The HR director did recommend specific things, and the mayor chose to look the other way on that.
Substantiated allegations that Butler says she discovered through a different lawsuit against the city and the mayor that has since been settled out of court. The settled suit was the one filed by Shelley Boggy, Caldwell's former HR director, who sued in late February accusing the mayor of wrongful termination and retaliation. Boggy claims she was not reappointed to her position after she told the mayor she had concerns about the police chief continuing in his job based on findings from an independent HR investigation. Butler says the mayor's mishandling of those findings sent a clear message about where his loyalties lie.
I feel like it showed me, as well as other officers and employees, that if you bring something forward and it's against the right people, that it's probably going to go nowhere and get swept under the rug.
Butler says retaliation against her has continued since filing the lawsuit. She points to a press conference held by Mayor Wagner with City Council in attendance, where he gave a public statement of support for the police chief, with Ingram standing at his side.
That was disheartening because I was also a city employee at that time. So I feel like that was them saying, we're going to stand behind him because he's in higher power.
Butler says following that show of support, the city removed her access to city buildings and her CPD email account a year into an approved leave of absence. On April 9th, the city ended Butler's employment. According to Butler's amended complaint, the city cited her, quote, inability to work because of the PTSD she suffers related to the hostile and retaliatory actions by the chief, mayor, and CPD leadership.
For me to be fired and told, by the way, you have 2 weeks left of health insurance, that really hurt and shocked me because I'm halfway through my pregnancy, I'm 4 months pregnant, and now I have to worry about what I'm going to do for health insurance and what I'm going to do for a career. I didn't do anything wrong, and yet I was the person that was pushed out.
Butler says she's hoping her decision to speak up is enough to create a change for officers at Caldwell PD now and in the future.
A lot of kids grow up to want to be cops when they see that their parents are cops, and I know it's a boy. So if my future son were to grow up and want to pursue a job in law enforcement, I would pray to God that he didn't have to work for the same type of people that I did.
Additionally, Butler points to an interview where Chief Ingram did an interview with Channel 2 here in Boise where he said, quote, "People are doing whatever they can to publicly defame and slander him." He said then that he looks forward to this day in court. Butler says she looks forward to that day as well. We did reach out to the city today about new developments in this lawsuit and Butler's interview. The city says without hearing what Butler says and not having a copy of the amended complaint yet, they couldn't provide a comment. They said they would issue a statement after seeing our story that just aired.
And normally when we ask about these things, they always tell us, well, pending litigation, so we're not going to get involved. But why did Allison Butler decide to share her story?
Yeah, part of that is the lawsuits that followed hers, the one by Shelley Boggy, another one that was privately settled. And so she felt like after hearing more and hearing that other people experienced some of the things that she did, she felt like it was time to speak up and hopefully encourage some change at that department.
All right, we'll see what happens. Thanks, Aspen.